Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube, back with another Dark Shadows video for you guys and gals. I'm here to do my Here Comes the Bride part 11. And who's getting married this time? If you're sitting down, that's great, because this one might shock you if you haven't seen 1897. Yes, a Trask marries a Collins. Yes, you heard that right. Brace for impact, right? You have Judith Collins Trask marries Greggory Trask. You have Joan Bennett, Jerry Lacey. Really just great performances all around. And here's the thing: I've talked about before that nothing feels forced, right? So they set this up really nicely. You have Greggory Trask, who comes into the picture, cures Jameson, really Angelique lifts the spell, in my opinion. If you disagree, please do. And really, you find out that Greggory has a wife, Minerva. And I do think, in fairness to Greggory, Judith did express interest. So, eh, Greggory Trask finds out that, Judith is the head of the household. She's the matriarch. So she's in charge of the money. You literally have, you know, Greggory Trask, like I said, he's married. He's the head of a school. And, he gets he gets Evan Hanley. He blackmails Evan Hanley because he saw Evan Hanley channeling the devil. Um, him and Quentin faints. By the way, great scene. And you have this agreement. So Evan Hanley agrees to put some sort of spell on Evan. He sort of hypnotizes him, if you will, I guess, if you want to say. I don't know whether they consider this just a spell or mass hypnosis. It's so. I want to say it's mass hypnosis, but I'm not trying to say Evan Hanley is. Oh God, Warlock. What was the Warlock? God, I don't want to say Evan Hanley is Nicholas Blair, because he's not. They're not the same character. But Evan Hanley's very, he's into the occult. Him and Quentin are into the occult. There's always a Quentin. There seems to be a Quentin that's into the occult. And that's not a throwaway either. It's, so Evan Hanley gets Tim Shaw to murder Minerva. Now, a lot of things happen, you know, with Judith's marriage to Gregory, but eventually Dirk Wilkins gets turned into a vampire by Barnabas. Dirk Wilkins was a very good, very, very, very creepy vampire, very sick and sinister. I love it for it. I love him for it. Um, Really, really good job. And then you have, him just going on this obsession with wanting Laura brought back. That can't happen. So he gets Judith, who's under his control, to kill Rachel Drummond. One of the most heartbreaking moments in 1897. By the way, it's just a punch hard in the gut, and it's something else, is what it is. It's really just one of those oh no moments, and it is. It's just like, oh my god, really. So you have that happen, and Tim uses this to, or yeah, sorry. Tim Shaw uses this to get out of. I'm trying not to mix up characters because so many actors play different characters. Again, that's what's the fun thing about Dark Shadows. So Tim Shaw and Gregory Trask make an agreement because Tim's using this against that Judith murdered Rachel, and Tim saw it. Tim witnessed it, or. So you have that, and Greggory sort of saves her by making this agreement to drop charges against him. Now, Greggory is starting to, drive Judith crazy, saying, "Oh, whatever." And it's really, really interesting that even prior to this, Minerva's ghost is trying to reach somebody, but it's not Judith. It is Greggory, really, is what's going on. And so eventually, Judith comes around, and her and Tim Shaw come up with this plan, and they brick up Edward in Quentin's room. Quentin's is moved out of the West Wing. It's really, really a hell of a story. And I'll tell you again, is this my favorite marriage? No. But again, I'll say this. I don't feel nothing in Dark Shadows ever felt forced. And this doesn't just feel like it's plot convenience to keep Greggory around either. It's really more they do a really great job setting up Rachel uh, to go back to the school. So again, there are other reasons Gregory is kept around, not just to marry Judith. I think that's something that gets glossed over sometimes because some people might say, well, Gregory was just married Judith to keep him around. I don't buy that completely. I more think that, again, because the school had burned down. The school burned down, which Laura Collins scorched. Well, she at least set the school on fire, right? My God. Tim Shaw's like, what the heck just happened? So, craziness. Really just craziness. And I like the fact that, yes, Judith does love Gregory. There's always usually a one-sided love in some of these marriages. And some of them, there's two sides. There's both. But in some of them, I want to say it's sort of split down the middle. It may be like half and half, where there's some marriages where on one side it's just one side loves the other and the other side doesn't love the other. And I think it's on the other half you have some marriages where both participants love each other. There is that in Dark Shadows. So, and I've discussed those, by the way. Um, so I really enjoy the fact that, again, you have Judas' brother who isn't happy. Quentin doesn't really care. Quentin doesn't give a shit. And I love him for it. David Selby, it's just cooler than the other side of the pillow is Quentin, right? He really is, really, really good job. And Jameson, eh, I mean he's going to the school, so he's going to be taught by Trask and company. I really think they should have killed Trask another way. I guess that's my one thing. Again, because I'm not sure if this has happened because of Barnabas's time travel, if this was always the case. Um, but I love the sinisterness of it. It's really well done and really well set up. But it just the marriage itself is sort of like it's gonna go bad. I mean, that this is doomed to fail. But again, it's really well acted and well done. So, I mean, I don't have too much more to say about it. Sorry to say. All right, guys. I just want to thank everybody. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Going to be plenty more Dark Shadows videos to come. Don't you guys worry. I will have something up for you. I'm sure there's plenty to get to. I'm going to do my next set of videos. I have a guest coming on the 18th. I have a guest coming on the 27th, so there's that. And in between there, I'm going to talk about some non-supernatural villains. Because Dark Shadows, though about does have supernatural villains, it's those other villains you gotta watch out for. So those are my next set of videos. You guys have a great night.